Welcome to part 7 of How Did They Know, right? So when it comes to this whole homework series and everything for science and things like that, you want to not only think critically, but you want to ask things like, how did they know? How did they know if this person was married or not? Did they wear a symbol? Did they tell them? Did they verbalize it, etc., right? Were they wearing rings? Were they saying stuff? Were they acting a certain way? What was their behavior like, right? So this is like where you would have to have situational awareness and things like that. But then again, how do people know? Because some people aren't paying attention to certain things. And since people only know what you tell them, if they're wearing their ring or they're not wearing their ring, or if nobody said anything, how do they know? Unless they screamed out loud, "Oh my God, I'm married," right? Think about it, which means that all's fair in love and war. And if there is a war and you love somebody and you want to defend them, there are no rules, especially if the other side broke the rules to begin with. And now it's all fair game for all sides to start playing like this, right? Or is it only okay for those in power with enough resources in order to exercise and flex? All right. Remember, somebody dumb wanted to crack a joke and say, why do snakes crawl around or lay on their bellies? Well, that's interesting. I noticed a lot of smart people have awesome jobs where they could work remotely, have a lackadaisical life, but are they staying in shape and maintaining their fitness at the same time? Do they not care about their health, etc.? So they, don't work out, they become overweight, obese, etc., and then they wonder about the health issues later. But I'm not anybody. Who am I? I'm just somebody asking questions, right? Kind of like a lawyer. Hopefully I finish law school. But anyways, let's get into it, shall we? So, part 7 of How Did They Know? So, how did they know who was chosen? What does that mean? How do they know? Who was selected? See, in King Arthur, the movie, Legend of the Sword, the new one with the guy from Sons of Anarchy, there's a part in there just before he accepts everything where he's like, oh, no, I know what you guys want me to do. You guys want me to do that thing that I did last time, etc. And they're like, yes. It's kind of like the TV show Burn Notice, where there's a little kid and the little kid paints a picture for Michael Weston and he goes, you really want me to shoot somebody, don't you? And the little kid's like, yeah, so on and so forth, because he's helping the father out, right? And he's trying to protect the father from being screwed over and everything else. So just think about that little analogy or entendre or metaphysical, whatever you want to call it, situationship, right? So how did they know who was chosen? Genius or Gigi or Genghis or Jesus? I don't know, it rhymes, right? So if it rhymes, is it the same thing? If evil, right, rhymes with Knievel, is that a cool thing, a bad thing, or should you not say it? Think about it. Question 2. How did they maintain the secrets of the secret police if people could not keep a secret? Right? Let's say you apply to Secret Service, right? And you're watching TV and somebody's like, that's the secret person, right? How did they know? Who told them? Who told them? Which means there are no secrets, and I found a snitch. Or because people don't think, and they obviously know that everybody's listening and sharing is caring, then why do they get upset when someone sings the song Men in Tights? Because Robin Hood was in Sherwood Forest, wasn't he? They wore tights, right? Thespians wore tights, actors wear tights, ballerinas wear tights, wrestlers wear spandex, right? But we can't call them tights because it might sound gay. So we'll call it spandex and call it a uniform, and then we'll see how long it takes for them to get away with it, flustered or upset. Okay, honey? See how my tone and pitch came out as though I was some flamboyant person or some metrosexual, right? Like I had an attitude, right? Remember in the movie Karate Kid, one of the things Mr. Han said to Jaden Smith was that you need to have attitude so he didn't get his ass kicked all the time, right? So remember that. Last question for your assignment. How come people still think they are untouchable as though people cannot be found? With all the technology that we have in the world, I suggest you start doing some research, because the things they could do with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth would give credibility and leverage to, well, part one of how do they know, and the questions within there that reside within there. Now, there are a couple more parts to how do they know, right? And it does stop at part 10. But for those of you who need to play catch up, I am going to stop here because it's been about, 7 days, give or take, so on and so forth, or 6 or 5 days that you guys got to listen to lessons, or listen to the lessons within class, answer these critical questions to think critically, and leave your comments down below. So remember, always think critically, always listen to understand before you respond. The reason that's being said is because what's being said is being said not only in jest, but utilized to trigger an emotion, to implant a thought, implant a seed, so on and so forth, to get you to act, behave, or expose something in a certain way. So I'll see you guys in the next part of How Did They Know? But until then, I just want to say something. And this goes out to people out there, right? I love you. The only reason I'm doing this is because I see a lot of people getting taken advantage of, saying that you can't say certain things. So if I drop an F-bomb, I can't say that, but I can say, oh, bless your heart. Remember that. Till next time, my friends. Take care. Peace.